Years in a row, there must be a reason. Why?
It's down in the bridge. My sister's truck is God knows where. Is it washed it away?
One death is blamed on flooding in Texas, 2 others in Arkansas. An apparent tornado also tore up parts of Lake City, Iowa.
My yard had a bunch of trees and stuff, and a couple of houses over there, their roofs are gone.
The top was torn off the local high school during an awards ceremony, but nobody was hurt. It wasn't the weather that brought people out last night in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. It was a vigil to honor 2 slain police officers.
Lord, as we light this candle in memory of...
And today, a public memorial will be held for 34-year-old Benjamin Dean and 25-year-old LaCorey Tates, who were shot and killed during a Saturday night traffic stop. Resident Pam Brinson says people are doing what they can for the officers' families.
Let them know that we appreciate them and just do what we can to make this work for the good of the community and not pull us apart.
4 suspects held in the case are due in court today. Now to Baltimore, a city still recovering from the turmoil sparked by the Freddie Gray case. CBS's Steve Dorsey says a Grammy-winning pop star urged young people there to fix a broken system.
Baltimore took center stage at Prince's Rally for Peace performance here. It drew fans from across the country, like Carmen Craven, following the artist and his message of peace.
I'm here in support of justice for Freddie Gray, and also I love Prince.
Prince called on fans to wear gray in support of the late 25-year-old Freddie Gray. A portion of the proceeds from ticket sales went to help fight discrimination and police brutality in the city. Steve Dorsey, CBS News, Baltimore.
The baseball Orioles return to Camden Yards tonight to play their first game since the rioting in Baltimore. The Baltimore Sun, citing city records, reports 2,600 detainees in police custody between June 2012 and last month had injuries too severe for them to be sent to jail. 6 officers are facing charges in Freddie Gray's death last month. U.S. officials are telling a human rights panel in Germany today that cases of excessive force by police are a challenge for this country to do better and work for progress. Trouble at a Nebraska prison. Here's CBS's Vicki Barker.
Prison officials say that when wardens re-entered one of the prison dorms for the first time since yesterday's rampage, they discovered 2 dead inmates. Not clear when or how the men died during the disturbance. Yesterday, 2 staff and 2 inmates were reported as suffering minor injuries. It appears some prisoners are still occupying parts of the Tecumseh State Correctional Institution, but officials say the perimeter of the facility is secure and there have been no escapes.
In Boston, the defense in the penalty phase of the Marathon bomb trial is calling its final witness today. Later this week, the jury is expected to begin weighing life in prison or death for convicted bomber Johar Tsarnaev. 4 minutes after the hour.
And good morning. This is traffic on KNX 1070 News Radio. We're going to go up to Jeff Baugh, who's flying over a Service Street problem in Air 1070.
Big time delays. We can help you out here. It's northbound La Cienega before Stockard. 2 right lanes are blocked. Left lane's the only one open, and it's backed up coming away from the 405. Use La Brea. Use Crenshaw. Gets you into Mid-City before you know it.
And let's go to Michael Bryan, who's been over a motorcycle crash in the Pomona area at Air 1070. Mike.
Yeah, finally some good news, Jan. The 16 westbound at Phillips Ranch Road, they've cleared the accident from the carpool lane. However, it's still suffering out of the Chino area.
Yeah, and I'm looking at your alternates. The 10, much better, I would say, than the 60 getting away from 15 to the 210's got a couple of pockets of slowing, but I would probably take the 10 of the 3. Let's go to Scott Birch in Air 1070 over the 210.
Now, speaking of the 210 westbound, it is sloping the 57 out toward the 605. Expect some additional reduced speeds into Arcadia.
Yeah, and that 10 westbound then gets very heavy west of Kellogg Hill all the way over towards the 605. Traffic and weather together on the 5s. Our next report is 7:15 from your Southern California traffic leader, KNX 1070, CBSLA.com.
90-year-old former President Jimmy Carter's back here in this country. He cut short an election monitoring trip to Guyana because he wasn't feeling well. WGCL TV's Scott Light was on the plane ride back.
The president's press secretary said the only thing I can tell you is that he's not feeling well and he needs to get back to Atlanta. I just thought he looked tired. But his color was still good. I just thought he looked tired.
The Obama administration is set to host a summit of Arab allies this week, but some key players will not be there. White House correspondent Pam Coulter joins us live.
Steve, the White House is playing down the fact that many of the heads of state will not be attending the two-day summit. Saudi Arabia and Bahrain are dispatching other high-level representatives, a sign of displeasure over the administration's handling of the Iran nuclear deal and what they think they'll get out of the summit. CBS News security contributor Mike Morrell.
Fundamentally, they are more concerned, more afraid of Iran than they are of Al-Qaeda and ISIS.
The Gulf countries want more military support from the U.S., Steve.
In Yemen, a Moroccan fighter jet, part of the Saudi coalition targeting Shiite rebels, is missing. That development comes a day before a proposed 5-day humanitarian ceasefire. An Oregon family's calling for an investigation and plans to sue United Airlines. Donna Beagle says she and her 15-year-old autistic daughter were forced off a flight home last week.
We were shocked to hear them say, we're going to make an emergency landing in Salt Lake City. We have a passenger in the back of the plane who has behavior issues.
United says the crew made the right call after what it says was a disruptive situation. A new report says enrollment in pre-kindergarten programs has inched up. CBS's Jim Taylor.
It is getting better. The nation has turned the corner since the recession. We are now moving in the right direction.
NIEER President Stephen Barnett says Michigan and Vermont top the states developing quality pre-K programs. The worst?
Florida and Texas have the lowest quality standards of any states in the country.
And hey, why bother with quality pre-K anyway?
Quality preschool programs improve children's cognitive, social, emotional development. In the long run, that increases their achievement, keeps them in school, decreases social problems, increases earning.
And that's a lesson he says a lot of states could learn. Jim Taylor, CBS News.
There are calls for the director of a private school in Stone Mountain, Georgia to step down. Nancy Gorduke made racial remarks during Friday's graduation ceremony. She's apologized. One person who attended says it seemed more like a roast than a graduation. On television,
this is American Idol.
Fox says the next season of American Idol, the 15th, will be its last. The show propelled the likes of Kelly Clarkson and Carrie Underwood to stardom. Wall Street, the Dow is down about 4 points. Time on the roundup, 8 past the hour.
Clean up your summer vacation plans with Simple Green All-Purpose Cleaner, the non-toxic and biodegradable cleaner that's safer for your family and our environment. You could win a family trip for 4 to Hawaii. Enter now at simplegreen.com/Hawaii.
Tonight on the new Mike and Molly, a near-death experience isn't all bad.
I almost died today.
I already said you're getting action. It's not going to happen sooner.
New Mike and Molly, CBS Tonight.
When the conversation turns to cars, do you ever get tired of always hearing about price, payments, haggling? Well, come to South Bay BMW Mini, where price is never an issue and value is always our focus. This is Peter Boson. At South Bay BMW Mini, you are worth more. With our Match Plus pricing program, you can always be confident in the deal you get. The plus, it's the best part because you become a VIP and enjoy sensational benefits like free any-day hand car washes and your choice of BMW and Mini loan cars with your service appointment. We give you the opportunity to be cared for. If the last few years have taught us anything, it's that people don't care what you know till they know that you care. See, we just don't want to deliver on a great price. We want to ensure that you get the best value for your dollar, and we won't be beat. Visit us at Hawthorne Boulevard in Torrance or online at southbaybmw.com or southbaymini.com. South Bay BMW, South Bay Mini. Don't settle for less.
South Bay BMW, South Bay Mini, the newest members of the McKenna European Auto Centers family.
The World News Roundup sponsored by South Bay BMW Mini. Flooding to stop, but the road is a mess still in West Hollywood.
Celebs have green lawns, though, plus more evidence that the rent in Southern California is sky high.
Good morning, I'm Dick Hill.
And I'm Vicki Moore. It's Monday, May 11th. Here's what's happening at 7:09. If you're trying to get to the airport or anywhere through the Baldwin Hills this morning, it's really jammed up. Jeff Ball live overhead. What's up?
Boy, it sure is. And we want to thank our John Baird for being a traffic reporter here. It's northbound. Northbound Los Angeles Stocker, a bad place anyway. Only one lane is open instead of 3. Backed up through the 405. If you haven't committed yet, use La Brea or Crenshaw into Mid-City. Vicki, it's a tough one here this morning.
All right, Jeff, you'll be back with traffic on the 5s in just a few. Thanks much.
Some of the residents on Formosa Avenue north of Santa Monica in West Hollywood have water service again this morning, and they had a main break there. But Pete Demetrios on the scene says it could be up to 3 days before a portion of that road is still safe to drive on.
That's because the DWP crews are going to have to fill in the rest of the 30 by 12-foot hole with gravel, concrete, then put asphalt slurry over it and let it harden until it's safe for cars to drive on. Sarah Point de Jour has some concerns because the hole in the street takes up 2/3 of the driveway at her apartment building space. Are you going to call for somebody for help saying, let's do some navigation here?
Well, I'll have you guys watch out for me if that's all right.
You don't want to ding anything, let alone your car.
No, exactly.
Yeah, it's been tough enough, she said. Water yesterday, well, that was problematic. They managed to get some of it. Now they're just waiting for the DW.
Involves 21 pilots, which, they're coming to LA. They're going to be at the iHeartRadio Theater on next Tuesday, the 19th. All right, so you have a chance to, of course, get in to see that.
Right.
And then also comes with a pair of tickets to go see them at the Greek Theater. That's coming up on Thursday, October 15th. But if you're a really big, hardcore 21 Pilots fan, you're not going to want to miss the announcement that I have for you right after the break here on The Woody Show.
All 98.7 is taking you to a place you...
And more. Pretty green lawn. Some people who live near all of it say it really kind of upsets them because of the drought.
They need to cut back just like everybody else. I think they use a lot of recycled water here too, so I think they're trying to do their part also.
New York Post says that Cher and Julia Roberts are replacing their lawns with environmentally friendly plants.
So we did this whole spotlight a few weeks ago on how tough it is to rent here in Southern California, particularly in the Los Angeles area. Boy, some of you can't even get a hold in Santa Monica. Margaret Carrero was there this morning talking about it being one of the most expensive places in the state.
It actually came in fourth on this new list, a new report. A one-bedroom apartment in Santa Monica, if you did want to move out here, will cost you $2,730 a month on average. That's 3 times the national average. Overall in California, rents are up about 6.5% since last year. LA, though, still among the most affordable, but still a one-bedroom will rent for about $1,510 a month. All of this due to the lack of supply for the ever-growing demand here. Alex works in Santa Monica, but he lives in LA, and he tells me he just won't pay that much.
Not for rent. Maybe for a house, yes, I'll probably do it, but not for rent.
But he may very well be priced out of that as well, that big dream, because the typical home in California is going for about $437,000.
Yeah, Margaret, there was a time when people said, all right, spend 25% of your income on your housing. What's the number today?
Oh, we're looking more at at least 30%, if not more.
Wow. All right, Margaret's following the efforts to find housing here in Southern California.
One of the things that we've been following at KNX is this shooting by police of this homeless man in Venice recently. There was a meeting, and the police chief and the mayor, frankly, got a lot of criticism for not being out there. And that's certainly one of the topics that Charles Feldman, you guys are going to talk about with the mayor this morning on our Ask the Mayor program.
Absolutely, and we want answers from the mayor, because you're quite right. Last week, a guy named Brendan Glenn, homeless guy, gets into a scuffle with LAPD in Venice. He's shot dead. That is still being investigated, of course, but the main issue is on Thursday night, as you know, Vicki, last Thursday night, there was a meeting in Venice. The police chief wasn't there, as you said. The mayor wasn't there, and a lot of people are asking the question this morning, why not? And we are going to ask the mayor at 10 o'clock. You can also, of course, as always, call or tweet the mayor using hashtag KNX Mayor.
Charles Feldman on Twitter at CFeldman1, and he will be periscoping Ask the Mayor this morning as well. KNX time, 7:14.
United News, here's Frank. Another milestone for Apple this morning. Apple, for the first time, has overtaken Xiaomi to become the largest vendor of smartphones in China. Apple grabbing nearly 15% of market share in the first quarter of this year, surpassing Xiaomi, which had just about a 14% share. Apple, meanwhile, is boosting efforts to go green in China by partnering with conservationists to promote sustainable forestry for paper production. Company's CEO says he'll try to get Apple's Chinese suppliers and contract manufacturers to use renewable energy to power their factories. Apple stock is slipping about $1 this morning at 126 and change. It's about $8 off its recent all-time high. The overall stock market cooling down a bit following Friday's sizzling run-up on that better-than-expected jobs report we got. The Dow was up nearly 300 points at the close on Friday. We're slipping 15 right now. NASDAQ up 10 and the S&P 500 up 1. Money News, 10:40 past the hour. Frank Motek, KNX 1070 News Radio.
I love the alternate options that KNX gives me while I'm trying to get somewhere.
Traffic on the 5.
KNX provides exactly what I need.
And an alternate route if you're in a jam.
They always give me some options.
Stay connected. KNX 1070 News Radio.
KNX News Time, 7:15. Traffic and weather together on the 5, brought to you by the Riverside County Transportation Commission's Project 91 project in Corona.
To my mom's house and served coffee to everybody.
Wow.
Yeah. So they could choose what they wanted. My sister wanted a caramel macchiato. My dad tried the espresso.
Did they all love it as much as we do?
They were all very...
Valid when financed through NMAC from new dealer stock.
Found something, and we...
858-83...
5 at the 110 carpool and number 1 lane block. Thank you, Donnie, for that. Jeff Bosman over 2 separate surface street crashes in Air 1070.
All right, the one creating more delays here is actually northbound La Cienega before Stocker. We've had lanes blocked for a long time with a backup all the way coming away from Florence and the 405. Simply using La Brea, Crenshaw, any of that into Mid-City will help. The one we're over right now is just down the street from our studios, actually northbound Fairfax, just north of Wilshire. You can drive through, but fire department is there. They're helping some people out here. So lanes are blocked, just slow going through.
Northbound out of the 405 heading up towards LAX, slow from about Wilmington through the South Bay curve up to about Rosecrans. It breaks free for a moment. Then it gets very heavy again from the 105 all the way up to the Santa Monica Freeway. We've been told by various limo drivers that the departure level very heavy at LAX. I just want to give you a heads up on that because of the construction. Let's go to Michael Bryan at Air 1070.
Yes, just over the 55 southbound. Starts to load up just about Catella. Looks like you're on and off the brakes now through the 5 to Edinger.
And let's go to Scott Burton, Air 1070. Scotty.
Oh, 210 westbound, slow 57 out through the 605 into Arcadia, but 134 in good shape, Eagle Rock over toward Glendale.
And we'll talk about Orange County freeways in our next report. Traffic and weather together on the 5s. Our next report is at 7:25 from your Southern California traffic leader, KNX 1070 and CBSLA.com.
Sunny skies for the most part here in Southern California today, with temps that'll be back to the mid-70s across much of the area.